Hello, Alex, and welcome back to another Warcraft video. And today we're going to be looking over all the changes coming in the Shadowlands pre-patch for mages. Looking over the general changes to arcane, fire, and then frost. So here we go. Okay, starting off with the general changes affecting all classes. Mirror image is no longer a talent unlearned by all mages at level 44. Mirror images damage has been greatly reduced. Frostbolt added to all mirror images, and while your images are active, damage taken is reduced by 20%. Taking damage directly will cause one of your images to dissipate. All mages can now use the following abilities: Arcane Explosion, which causes damage to all enemies within 10 yards, and Frostbolt, which causes frost damage to an enemy, reduces their speed by 50%. And of course Fire Blast, which deals fire damage. Who'd have thought? A new talent coming to all mages is Focus Magic, which increases the target's chance to critical hit by 5% for 30 minutes. And while the target critically hits, your chance to critically hit with spells is increased by 5% for 10 seconds. Cannot be cast on yourself and limit one target. Shimmer's cooldown has been increased to 25 seconds. Rune of Power now places a Rune of Power on the ground for 15 seconds instead of 10. And has an additional effect of when casting Arcane Power, Combustion or Icy Veins will also create a Rune of Power at their location. Ring of Frost will incapacitate duration in PvE increased by 50%, and there's an additional effect of when the incapacitate expires, the enemy is slowed for 65% for 4 seconds. Okay, let's have a look at Arcane. Okay, let's have a look at Arcane then. A new ability coming to them is Alter Time, which alters the fabric of time, returning you to your current location and health when cast a second time or after 10 seconds. Effect negated by a long distance, or of course if you die. Mastery Savant now has an additional effect increasing all your arcane damage. Clear Casting now has an additional effect of stacking up to 3 times and causing your arcane missiles to fire 1 additional missile. Arcane Power cooldown is reduced to 2 minutes instead of 3. Touch of the Magi is no longer a talent unlearned at all arcane mages at level 33. This has also been redesigned to apply Touch of the Magi to your current target, accumulating 20% of the damage you deal to that target for 8 seconds, and then exploding for that amount of damage in arcane damage, and reduced damage to all other targets. Generates 4 arcane charges on cast and has a 45-second cooldown. Arcane Power no longer is on the global cooldown. Now we have a few more talents, which is Master of Time, which has replaced Mana Shield, which reduces the cooldown of Alter Time by 30 seconds and resets the cooldown of Blink when you return to your original location. Arcane Echo replaces Charged Up, dealing direct damage to enemies affected by Touch of the Magi, causing an explosion that deals arcane damage to 8 nearby enemies. Amplification causes arcane missiles to fire 2 additional missiles when clear cast. Resonance damage per target hit with Arcane Barrage increased by 15%. Time Anomaly now grants Time Warp for 6 seconds and no longer grants 4 arcane charges. Never Tempest now deals reduced damage on secondary targets. And to PvP, we have Rewind Time has been completely removed and cannot be used anymore. Okay, let's move on to Fire. Okay, so now let's look at the changes to Fire. Mastery Ignite now causes your Phoenix Flame to spread your Ignite to 8 nearby enemies. Ignite no longer spreads to nearby enemies every 2 seconds. Phoenix Flames is no longer a talent unlearned at level 19. And Phoenix Flames has a 25-second recharge time, damage increased by 50% and no longer guarantees a critical strike. Enhanced Pyrotechnics is now Fireball, rank 2. Phoenix Flames now deals reduced damage on secondary targets to go in line with everybody else. And then we have one new talent, which is From the Ashes, which is a passive, which increases your mastery by 2% for each charge of Phoenix Flames off cooldown, and your direct damage critical strikes reduces its cooldown by 1 second. We have Blast Wave damage increased by 5% and duration increased to 6 seconds. Alastra's Fury now always critically strikes for 15% increased critical strike damage and has an additional effect of your next Pyroblast or Flame Strike damage increasing by 35%. Kindling now reduces the remaining cooldown of combustion by 1.5 seconds. Pyroclasm now increases Pyroblast bonus damage by 250%, and Living Bomb now deals reduced damage on secondary targets to go in line with everybody else. Okay, finishing up, we have Frost. Okay, now looking at Frost, there isn't a lot for this one. So Flurry now reduces the target's movement speed by 80%. Icy Veins is no longer on the global cooldown. Frozen Orb can now only hit 8. The following talents have been adjusted. Frigid Wind's additional movement speed, its reduction is now 10%, and Icy Nova now deals reduced damage on secondary targets. So if you enjoyed, don't forget to punch the like button, leave a comment down below, of course subscribe if you're new to the channel, follow me on Twitter, link down below as always, and last thing to say, I've been XLQX, and I'll see you in the next World of Warcraft video. Thanks a lot for watching.